Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306 back with another product review video. This time, I actually am not wearing my other smartwatch, but it's another smartwatch. I like smartwatches. I use smartwatches every single day. This guy is, I found the website and they list the exact model watch as this, and it's in euros, and I can't figure out how to change it to USD. It's apparently originally like 79.99 euros, and it's on sale for 59.99. So whatever that is in USD is, I guess, whatever the price is. Anywho, we'll get into this, and before we do though, smartwatch, put the future of health on your wrist. So obviously they're going for kind of the health aspect of that. Comes in black and pink. They gave me the black one. And yeah, the brand I forgot to mention is Akumaka, and yeah, 2023, so this is actually fairly new and very shiny. Model 209DK, Donkey Kong. Anywho, yeah, let's just pop this open. Pretty nice presentation. The box is pretty small and slim. Well, it's sort of long and slim. And the weird, ridiculous thing was Amazon delivered this in like a massive box with like a whole crap load of those inflatable air cushion thingies. So it's sort of ridiculous. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was something else completely different that I ordered. But no, it was a watch in a tiny box inside of a larger box. Like significantly larger, comically larger. Anyway, we have the foam padding here to protect the watch. And here it is. It's very svelte. This is giving me major Apple Watch vibes. And yeah, so we have it here. We have the accessory thing, and they very thoughtfully included like a little finger hold thing, so you get your finger in there. And this just opens, and goodies should slide out. It does come with a replacement band, so they have this band and then this guy. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm just realizing how is this like this is magnet. What? It's magnetic. Wow, I've never seen I don't know why I'm so impressed by that. Magnets, how do they work? Yeah, I was like, wait, there's no clasp. How could this possibly work? But this is really cool. Every link has a magnet in it. That is so cool. So you can just change it by physically putting it on the next rung up. Wow. And like, I'm, flinging my wrist around. It's not coming off on its own. So that's actually real. I like this band. Okay, this is a much more conventional band. Interestingly enough, different colors. This is black, and this is sort of a stone grayish. This one is more conventional with the clasp, the little holes on the tongue side. But it does look like it uses these, I love these. It has like the little latch, so you don't need a special tool, like a jeweler's tool thing to open these. You can remove these, swap these on your own. Very easy. We'll get to this in a second. Let's just see. There's got to be a charger in here. Other side, probably. There we go. And there we go. It has one of these magnetic chargers, and this cord is about as long as pretty much all the other ones I've seen for these watches. It's about like 1.5 feet, so not like super short, not super long. And more magnets. This watch is all about the magnets. And it has 2 little pogo pins, and they just go on, as this tries to connect to itself, go on 2 little metal pads there. And I believe that is all that's in this super long packaging strip thingy. But I believe there's a manual. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, jeez. Oh, wow. Okay. So they've got connectivity guides. So you got to download an app, unfortunately, but that's the way things are nowadays. Everything has its own app. So you can download the DeekFit app, install it, and then that allows you to change all the settings on the watch. I keep saying this for years and years. Whenever I get a new smartwatch, why don't you just allow you to set the time on the smartwatch? This may or may not do that. If it's any indication on all the other smartwatches I have, almost all of them require you to set the time via the network connected to a phone or via like an app. So none of them just allow you to use the smartwatch standalone, which is kind of But we'll see. I'll give this a fair shake. Maybe that's not the case. Different languages. So yeah, it's only like 5 steps, I guess. Yeah, and that's about it. And in every other language in the entire Earth. And we have a giant full data coordinate. It just keeps going. Wow. This is, yeah, it's a lot of information. It's how to use all the separate different apps. Ooh, looks like they apparently, I didn't see it on the website, but apparently they have this like silver and orange version. That's interesting. But yeah, we'll get into the user interface and all that kind of good stuff. But let's just check out the watch now, and we got to remove the protective film because so ASMR time. Try to do it in one go, it didn't work. Yeah, so the watch itself looks like about 1.5 inches. It has like the swanky rounded corners of the Apple Watch. It is like flat, there's no curve around the edges, you can see here. It's pretty, yeah. So that's an interesting design. Sort of the edges are not sharp, but sharper than I'm expecting. There is a noise when you rotate this. Let's see if you can hear it. It doesn't feel like it actually has, like a lot of these make it look like you can rotate this to go through the menus, but as far as I've seen all the like the cheaper non-Apple watches and non-Samsung smartwatches, I don't actually utilize the crown, as they just use as a button. They don't have like a rotation function. So I'm gonna guess that's the same. We'll check in 1 second as long as this is charged. We have the like optical sensors on the back here for your heart rate and sleep activity and all that under some glass, and I mean that does look very nice and hopefully waterproof. Yeah, it's probably mounted all with adhesive. I can feel it sticks up a little bit from the rest of the watch. This is metal, all the rim part, and this very back part is plastic. There's a hole here and a hole here and a hole here and a hole here. There's a hole everywhere. So I'm guessing some or all of them are the speaker and or mic. And there's actually more holes here. Maybe that's the speaker. That would make more sense. And that's probably the mic. And these are, I don't know why. They're fashion holes. Anyway, yeah. So, other than that, let's just stick this on and give this a power on. Hopefully there's some charge left in it. It vibrated. Wow, that was quick. Booted right up. These don't run Android or anything fancy like that, so the upside of that is they boot like almost instantly and they shut off almost instantly. And so here's the main screen. Looks like Mars or something. And it says in some very futuristic font, it's 2204. Is that even the right time? It is not. So definitely going to have to sync this, obviously. And it's saying Thursday, February 10th, which it definitely isn't. No footsteps because I just turned this on. Let's see. So if I go left, there's a shortcut menu and your temperature, time, everything. And yeah, shortcuts to like, I guess the last 4 used apps. On the right is your daily exercise. Then it goes to sleep, heart rate. You might be able to adjust the order of all these. I know the other watch that I have, you can. Blood oxygen level, music, weather, and that appears to be all. And you can always go back to the main screen by just clicking the crown. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. So we're at a menu, list menu. So let's see if I can rotate. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't actually control. You have to use a touchscreen. Yeah. So yeah, we have heart rate, training, blood oxygen, sleep, music, weather, alarm clock, breathing training, message, voice assistant, SOS, toolbox, and settings. Here we can adjust You can adjust both the dial and a theming. That's interesting. Some of these look, I like the look of these color coordinated ones. Wow, they look pretty schmick. We got some water things, and then we're back to the beginning. Yeah, so I mean, it has some. Hopefully, you can add your own. That would be real cool. If we just go back, theme. Oh, that's the menu. It does the same thing as that other smartwatch that I have. You can have it look sort of Apple-esque, or just like a grid or a list, and that's all you get. We can change the brightness. This is 50% right now. Bump it all the way up. Yeah, that's noticeably brighter. And screen time is, I guess, a timeout. Yeah, 10 seconds. That's fine. Sound and vibration. Okay. The touch is a little bit off. Maybe it could be a little more sensitive. So vibration on medium is fine. Media audio. I guess this acts as like a Bluetooth speaker. That's interesting. I'll just turn that on for a sec. And you can mute it. Password. I don't need a password for a watch. Raise to wake is on. We'll test that in a sec. Do not disturb QR code. I guess that's to download the app. You just scan that. System. That's how you can reboot or power it off or reset. Or you just hold the side button there, and I'm pretty sure that'll shut it off as well. And info. Yeah, here. I just doxed my Bluetooth address. There you go. So yeah. There's that. What is Toolbox? Oh, that's like all the other sub apps. They put them all in Toolbox. Drainage. It vibrates it to try to get water out of the hole. That's interesting. That's cool. Remote camera, flashlight, which just does the white screen thing. Good enough. That's interesting. Find my phone, remote camera, calculator, timer, stopwatch. And yeah, and this can make and receive calls if you are connected to your phone. Obviously, I'm not yet, so nothing shows up. And yeah, so yeah, if you want to access phone call or whatever the tackle box or toolbox, whatever it called it, settings or the alarm clock, that's how you do. You just swipe left. If you swipe up, it brings up this sort of notification shade sort of thing, and I believe on my other phone you can quickly, you just toggle individual features on and off quickly. So for instance, if you want to mute notifications, and it'll tell you the battery life, so 70% left on shipping, which is actually pretty good. So let's just see the wake on. Yeah, that's works, but takes about a second, it looks like, from when I raise my wrist to look at it. So it's not super quick, but it's not horrible, honestly, either. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking this, which has a bunch of fingerprints on it already. I'm going to set this up on my phone and actually use this. Okay, like the baller I am, I have 2 smartwatches on. I did not, by the way, go to work wearing 2 smartwatches. I only wore this for the last 2 weeks. But I brought out my Rogbid S2, which will inevitably be compared to this watch because it's very similar. And that is both in a good way and a bad way, but there are definitely some benefits to the Akumaka, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, branded smartwatch that I've worn for the past 2 weeks. One good thing is they use the exact same charger, so there is some sort of standardization happening, and wow, this is really dirty and disgusting. Anywho, yeah, so that is definitely a very good thing. So if something happens to your charger, you can easily source a replacement. They are very similar size-wise. I mean, the Rogbid's a little bit bigger just because it has like the kind of military, I guess this is like milled metal, probably aluminum frame, and yeah, has an additional button on the side. This one only has this one button, and the screen is plenty bright. which I believe I only have it about halfway, so we can bump that up, is very bright for the size. It's pretty high resolution and it looks fantastic. You can see here, got this sort of display going with like all your information along the left-hand side. The icons, on at least on this watch face, are pretty small. So if you have trouble seeing things, you might have trouble seeing, like for instance, the battery life, etc., etc. The functionality, I gotta say, the one thing I like about the Rogbid better is when you swipe up from like that home watch face screen, it opens your messages, like your notifications, and you can quickly check them here. It doesn't. That opens your app list. On the Rogbid, if you swipe left, it would open your app list. Here, it opens, I like this idea. There's like a last 4 apps used list. But I'm oftentimes finding myself wanting to quickly go to messages, and it doesn't happen to be within this list. Another interesting thing is, I'm just going to open up my messages, and there we go. You could see they're pretty small. Like the text itself is like tiny. And yeah, if you have trouble seeing, then that might be an issue. Like the other one though, you can clear all your messages pretty easily. And so yeah, if you use that a lot, it'll show up in this list. But if you use more than 4 apps often, then this list will constantly be changing and kind of annoying. It took me a while to figure out how to change from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's buried in the app settings. There's no setting on this device to allow that. Like the Rogbid, it does have your pulse sensor. It does not have the blood pressure sensor. It looks like it has the exact kind of same sensor array set up, but for some reason the Rogbid can do, I don't know how accurate this is once again, but it can do your blood pressure, but this guy can't. This only does your heart rate. You can change the watch face. This does the exact same thing the Rogbid does, but it does do one thing better. So it stores, I think, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think 8 watch faces. One of them is a user customizable one that can be sent from your phone to the watch. So there's that. But so the biggest complaint I had with the Rogbid is you can download new watch faces, but like it wouldn't save them. The app that works with this is called DeekFit, I think, and it does allow you to like favorite anything that you sent to this watch in the past gets saved to like a favorite list. That is fantastic. On the downside, it does seem like their watch face store is less. There's a lesser number of available watch faces. That might change in the future as people make more watch faces, but yeah, that is something to consider. So yeah, you can set an alarm clock here, which I've set every day. It'll wake me up. And the cool thing about this that the Rogbid doesn't do, this both vibrates and it has like an alarm sound that comes up. And there's a button on the screen that you hit to mute the alarm. And I've used this, and this is plenty, loud enough and vibrating enough to wake me up, definitely. So I do like that. There's breath training. Voice assistant, I can never get the voice assistant to work on any of these. I don't know if it's a setting that I have to set on my phone first. All of them, I'll just click it, I'll do it. It says it's listening to me, and then it does nothing. And it'll just sit there and do nothing. I don't know. So I'm never going to use that, I guess, because I can't figure out how to use it. There's SOS, and it just... Oh, you can set like a SOS number. So you can set your phone to like dial 911 or a relative if you click this app. So that's pretty cool. Continuing the disappointment of if you don't pair this to a smartphone, you can't set the time on the watch itself. Why do they basically force you to download the app and install it? Which I 100% understand a lot of people are not keen on doing that. The Rogbid does that as well, so yeah, it's not just this brand of smartwatch that does that. I installed the app for you guys, and I will open it in 1 sec. And here we go. So, this looks very similar to the Rogbid's app, which I actually have open as well, which is called DeFit for some reason. This watch is off, so it's showing up as not connected. This bottom icon is this watch right here, and the thing that stinks is you have to give these apps enough permissions to do what they do, and you have to leave them on 24/7 for them to maintain that connection to your phone, which does kind of stink. Anywho, so you have all your health sort of stuff on this front screen. You can actually turn on and off each one. You only have 3: heart rate, sleep, and blood oxygen level. If you want to resync data, you just pull down on this and it will sync to the watch. And it does take like 30-ish seconds or so. So, yeah, you can see. It was actually a little quicker that time. So the second tab is sports. You can use this. This uses your phone more than anything. It just displays information on your watch. But customer service, which just opens up the web browser and I guess takes you to their customer service page. Device, which is the watch here. You can see it reports battery life to the app itself. That's pretty cool. You can see the model number of this. Here you can click watch faces. And this dial center is like the watch face store. It does a thing where you had to like keep scrolling down to like download the next page. But it's fairly, I don't want to say limited, but there's not as many pages as the Rogbid watch face portion of the app. I think it's a handful of pages. I'm probably near the end-ish. Because eventually it's going to complain and say that, yeah, no more. So yeah, there's like 3 by, I'm not going to sit here and count that. There's probably all in all like 50 or 60 watch faces here. So there should be something that you like. A lot of them are pretty aesthetically pleasing. I always like these digital watch looking ones. So let's just say I want to send this one. So you click it to open it, and then it'll show you how many downloads it has, what's the memory size is about 500 kilobytes, and you can click synchronize data, and it will send it. And I'm just going to let this go through in real time. It does take quite a while, it seems like. It's sending it probably over Bluetooth, which is why it's pretty slow. And it's saying data preparation, and okay, I actually had to, there's a bug because I've had this Bluetooth on. I leave my Bluetooth on all the time. And I know. Don't complain to me about, security stuff. But so I had to actually turn on and off Bluetooth and let the watch resync because it was locked on that screen where it said like whatever data preparation, and it would never get off that. So I had to toggle Bluetooth, have this reconnect, and then it worked. And you just saw right there pretty much the entire process. It took like, I don't know, like 15, 20 seconds for it to sync. And yeah, there you go. Now I have this watch face. And so this is the watch dial center. You can download any of these, and it does save which ones are your favorites. So you can do custom watch faces as well. But yeah, anyway. So other than that, you can have this, you can enable this to make and receive calls. You can send like specific contacts to show up that you can click directly on the watch to call at any time, or you can just dial a number. You can turn on and off like all the different settings and reminders, and you can have like a sedentary reminder, universal settings, I believe is, yeah, all this kind of stuff. You can read that if you're interested. SOS call, here's where you can put a specific number or a contact that when you click that on the watch, it'll call. And that's for like emergency kind of stuff. There is a firmware upgrade. Let's just see if there is an update. There wasn't when I got the watch. It was up to date, and when I did search it, it just came up saying that there's nothing to download. So let's just let this complete and see what it says. So detection timeout. Fix your app. That's all I gotta say. This is not looking too good when I'm trying to demo your app and just nothing's working. Definitely when I first installed this, it worked fine. So I don't know. Maybe I need to reboot my phone, though. I don't want to have to reboot my phone just to get one app to work. That's not how that should work. Yeah, so there's something weird going on between the connection between the app and the phone. It looks like it's being weird. Yeah, and like I said, to use this app, you have to make an account, which means you have to give them an email address. I can definitely 100% understand people aren't keen to do that. But if you want this watch, then you kind of have to at least once maybe on a burner email account to set the time and only use that to like set the time on the watch when you need to. But yeah, if the battery dies on this watch, I have a feeling that you just lose the time and you have to kind of repair it to a phone to get the data onto here. But yeah. So yeah, the watch itself I think is a pretty decent deal. This wasn't too expensive. If I look on the sales page here, this is $40. Originally $50. It's on sale 20% off, and there's a 10% off coupon on top of that. So overall, in terms of price, in that like $40-ish range, not too bad for what you get. Especially the app, biggest downfall: need to fix your shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave it at that. The watch itself, I'm really happy with hardware-wise. Even the software on the watch, for most of the time, it works really well. I love this watch band. Please sell this watch band separately. I want to put this on every watch that I have. Honestly, I didn't think of how useful and how like good these magnetic bands are, but they really are so much better than like every other watch band that I've ever used. And they're easy to put on. They're strong enough that like you can't easily tear it off. Like you gotta actually put like quite a bit of force, and it doesn't damage the watch band too doing that. So yeah, awesome watch band, the magnetic one. Also, really cool thing that I realized halfway through. So I was at work, I was unscrewing something, and I had to put the screws somewhere, and they were luckily magnetic, so I could literally just put the screws on my watch band as I was unscrewing like a case for something, and they were right there. They stuck. The magnets are strong enough. That was fantastic. So this actually doubles as like a screw holder. That is awesome. I don't think that's intended, but definitely a happy occurrence that happened. So yeah, once again, if you guys are interested, I'll put the link for the Akumaka smartwatch here. And this comes in black and pink. It is a little bit smaller than the Rogbid, and the Rogbid definitely looks more masculine. This looks sort of more... This is obviously like going towards the Apple kind of clean industrial design look, but it does look a little bit feminine. I don't really mind. I have small wrists, so this isn't really, it sort of fits my wrist. I have like a child's wrist. But yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't mind, but definitely I could understand that some people want a manlier watch, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, if you don't mind the way that this watch looks, this is great. The watch band is fantastic. Please sell me like 10 of these. I will buy them. Like, name your price. My mom, I'm going to give this to my mom for exercising so that she can keep track of her steps and all that. I gave this to her, and her first thing that she said was, "This is fantastic." She has decently bad arthritis in her hands, her fingers, and this is like one of the only watches that she can easily put on and take off without actually hurting her fingers. So that is absolutely fantastic. Every watch should have a band like this, I think. Especially every like sports watch. I could understand if you have like a fancy Rolex or something, you're not going to want like a silicone looking kids watch band thing. But yeah, any kind of fitness watch, get one of these bands if you can. Does anyone have like a link where I could buy some more of this bands where it has, oops, not to flash it, it has like this easy kind of mechanical clasp thingy, so I could put it on other watches that I have. Anyway, once again, huge thanks to Akumaka for sending this guy in for review. And like I said, watch good, app, I'm gonna have to say bad, I'm sorry, but it's true. Please fix your app, and then I will be significantly happier, and I could recommend this a lot higher once you fix the problems with your app. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.